Hello, friends. I'd like to welcome you to Meditaciones Diarias.com.
Welcome to Meditaciones.com. My name is Viviana from Atlanta, Georgia, and the devotion for today, May 24th, is titled, Whom Should I Send? Then I heard the Lord asking, Whom should I send as a messenger to this people? Who will go for us? Isaiah 6:8. In her book, Dare to Ask for More, Melody Mason tells the story of two young Moravians who heard that in an island in the West Indies, there was an atheist slave merchant who owned 2,000 to 3,000 slaves. Since he didn't want any of them to learn about Jesus, he had forbidden any preachers to enter. But these two young men couldn't stand the idea of thinking that so many people were living and dying without ever having heard the gospel. They decided to sell themselves as slaves. With the money they got, they paid for their voyage to the island. There, they would devote their lives to serving the merchant and secretly tell other slaves the story of salvation. At the age of 20, and with their whole life ahead of them, these young men were setting off on a journey with no return. Their families cried because they wouldn't see them again. Others questioned whether their decision was wise. They faced a life of slavery simply so other slaves could see there was something different in their Christian behavior. The pier grew farther and farther away from the eyes of the missionaries, and in the distance they heard a young man shout, "May the Lamb that was slain receive the reward of his suffering." When Isaiah was called, he knew he would have to face many dangers. Judah would be invaded, Assyrians would besiege main cities in the kingdom, Samaria would fall, and the 10 tribes of Israel would be dispersed. But the greatest problem was the apostasy and rebellion of God's people, the wickedness and corruption, their pride, flaunting, idolatry, and many other things. The future was disheartening, and Isaiah didn't think he was able to face it. However, he saw the glory of the Lord sitting on his throne, and although he understood he was a sinner, and needed God, he accepted the challenge. The solution would not necessarily arise in his days, and it would be a difficult job, but his duty was clear, and so was his calling. God has also entrusted us with a mission. In many ways, we face an even darker reality than the one surrounding Isaiah, but we also have even more evidence and divine manifestations assuring us that the God who calls us to the challenge also enables us and is with us to the end. He's not necessarily calling us to far lands. How will you respond? Thank you for listening, and please share this with #Meditaciones Diarias, #YouthDevotional, #YouthRadio, and tune into Youth Adventist Radio at jovenadventista.com.
I just want to thank you all for visiting us each day here at Meditacionesdiarias.com. May you have a blessed day.